It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery from darkness. Our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
Last time, Bell's Hells had said their goodbyes for the time being to the city Drusar, where they had met and spent a large portion of their adventure before, and donning their outfits and their gathered materials and stepping aboard the skyship known as the Silver Sun. You began to leave the Odiran wilds and head towards the Hellcatch Valley to chase after the whereabouts of the escaped Armand Tresci, who seems to have gone underground in the city of Bassuras. Now, after many days traveling across the broken, cracked, dust-filled wasteland that is the Hellcatch Valley, looking below day and night, you encountered some dangerous creatures that seemed to take to the skies, that battled you on the deck of this very skyship, in which, through some daring escapes and some clutch uses of abilities and spells, prevented Orm from falling to his death immediately. And with the possible final night of travel before the next final day of travel to the city of Bassuras, there was a discussion between Imogen and Laudna, in which this strange crystal that you had scavenged from the interior of the Shade Mother's lair back in Drusar, that had been seemingly giving comfort and warmth and having some odd effects on Imogen, had been called into question. Laudna, following a strange internal push towards inspecting and learning of the nature of it, grasped the gem upon the promise of nothing bad happening, and upon grasping it, watched as the arcane energy within was drawn out and into her, the crystal crumbling and cracking, left powerless and dark, and Imogen stormed off to take a night's rest, wallowing in the sense of betrayal as Laudna screamed at the bow of the ship. Nothing but the stars above and the moons to take it. The next morning, eventually, the sun begins to rise over the dusty valley. You can see there's some spotted gray clouds beginning to encroach from the southeast. The sunrise is still kind of blanketing this this dust-covered scape, the plateaus and large mountains that punch up from the broken ravine-cracked ground, still wearing the pinks and oranges of the rising sun. Who'd be first out onto the deck, keeping watch?
I'd be out.
Advancing out that early morning air, breathing it in deeply, you hold the edge of the skyship and glance down, and below you see a trail. One of the various roads that carve through the valley itself. You see what looks to be a small caravan, maybe 12 or so carts that are hitched to numerous beasts of burden, just slowly trudging through their path towards the city of Bassuras. What you also see, and you're uncertain if they see it, is something else shifting in the land below. You hear this like very faint, like a bassy, and you glance deep down and look underneath. The shadow, thankfully, is stretched far across the ground, so the skyship doesn't block your perspective, but you see the ground shifting, rippling, like something large is burrowing just beneath the surface of the dust and dirt in the direction of the caravan.
Khalil, look, down there. I think those people are in trouble. I think they're about to die. Get the captain. I'll be back. And I bolt for our quarters, and I find my way to the witch's door, where I think I slept, but I'm out early, and I just start beating on the door and yelling for everybody to get up. and specifically yell Imogen's name as loud as I can. Wake up! Get everybody up! And I just start slapping on doors and yelling, wake up, for everybody on board.
The captain, Xandis, comes pushing through from their quarters and there's something, it's way too early. And they go ahead and start trudging back to the surface.
Get up! Rev up! Get up! Oh, that's just how tall you are standing.
Yes.
I would drag Xandis to the edge of the ship and then with sword out, point it down. There, what is that? What does that mean?
They lean over the edge and glance down, pulling what looks like a very intricate, thin, but multi-tiered spyglass out of their pocket that draws out and puts it across. Well, goodness, it looks like we found ourselves a Dusttra. Claps it into their pocket, puts it down.
Dusttra?
All right, man the harpoons with the chains. We don't want to kill it. They're not usually dangerous. I don't know why it's going after this thing in particular. They're not carnivorous. But I think I got an idea. Kamille, give me the helm. Help these people. And they charge back and climb up quickly to get behind the wheel of the ship. Kamille begins shouting out, all right, everyone, get the harpoons ready. Get the chained harpoons, okay?
I'll grab a ballista.
The sails shift, and the ship begins to go into a subtle dive. You also see, out of the dust, this large ripple just kind of tearing, breaking across the surface. And for a brief second, you see something emerge from it. It looks like a squid. It has this long head that kind of dives outward, and you see these tendrils that kind of come behind it. It's like a massive, mutated cephalopod, but it's covered in spines and weird kind of hooked, like horned toad style ridges that go across the sides of its body. And at the very point where the head emerges, you see it split into 4 different kind of jaw openings before it dives back down below. So you hear Xandis shout from the back, they're not usually hunters. Something's drawing it. Get there ready. Tirana is helping you load the chained harpoon on the left-hand side.
Chain one, that's the one we want? Okay.
He rushes over and helps you get the massive harpoon in it.
Chet, can you use your horn? Can you single out somebody in that caravan and use your horn?
I'll look at the caravan, and I pick one of the beasts of burden, and I... No. I'll pick a humanoid entity at the back and try and like...
Okay. You put all of your breath into this horn, and it's just... and you begin to realize, maybe you got swindled.
Son of a bitch.
Did it work?
Hold on, I gotta make a new list.
Meanwhile, the ballista are both set, and you are not, the ship is now starting to turn up as it's getting dangerously low towards the ground, but it is beginning to catch up to
Captain
this Dusttra
Xandis
beast.
hears in his head, how high up can these... Their head, sorry. How
Yeah.
high up can these dusters go?
You hear back from Captain Xandis. Not very high. They're mostly terrestrial diggers, and they're generally scavengers and vegetarians, which is why this is very strange.
Any ranged attacks?
I don't know. I never fought one of them. I don't go this deep into the valleys. Skyships avoid this area for a reason. I told you that.
I cast fly,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take off for the caravan.
If you're gonna take aim, do it now. We're gonna distract it. Pull it away.
Okay. On count of 3.
Yeah.
3.
Oh shit!
Firing.
It sticks into the Dusttra as it was just diving back in, and the chain suddenly rips taut. Go again, other side!
I'm gonna try to shoot from the back.
Oh boy.
So try to get a tail situation or something, whichever is.
You all watch it cruise off the top, and then suddenly it pulls tight. You hear now this like deep, reverberant growl. As that chain tugs, the boat begins to list from the back.
Yeah, that's bad.
And you watch as the captain goes, God, shit! And reaches down, and underneath the wheel, there's a second set of controls that handle the intensity and strength of the broomstone upon the ship itself. You watch as they reach down and pull one heavy lever from there and just yank back. As they do, you see the central gem that sits in the middle of the ship begin to glow brightly, and you all feel the wood of the ship begin to vibrate. Things begin to shift. As it does, the ship kind of locks into place and continues to move forward, but now it is anchoring it. You also notice now flares beginning to come off of the caravan. They've either noticed the encroaching creature or they heard the alarm notification from your horn.
And float down to where I can like look it in its eye.
Okay, and now it is a bit dangerous to get too close because you do see parts of it thrashing, and this close up you can see the texture of it. It has crustacean-like plates across a large part of its body, all similar coloration to a lot of the earth and dirt around here in the Hellcatch Valley. It has like an ashen, like a light gray visual to it.
I'm gonna look at it in its eye, and I'm gonna say, stop. And I'm gonna command it to just stop moving.
The tendrils begin to lax.
Ooh,
and just kind of, the thrashing stops. And there is an intelligence to this creature. And you push past that, and you sense a lot of pain. You sense a desperation and an anger. A sense of home and belonging and being pushed and forced from it. Of having brood, children, taken.
Oh.
And a real deep, burning sense of vengeance.
All I'm gonna try to do is convey thoughts to it. To say I'm sorry for your loss.
You all watch as Imogen just flies down, just kind of drifts right above its bright blue eye, and it slowly begins to reduce its aggressive stance. Not entirely, but there seems to be almost an odd pause, a space between them, a connection where there's, knowing her and her abilities, possibly a conversation. And then eventually she takes off again, and it still kind of slowly is wrapping itself around the chains.
How'd it go?
Are you all right? I'm fine.
That was so cool.
Well, what do we do?
Very hurt.
It's been hurt. It's been tortured. I think people probably destroyed its home and its family.
Oh no.
It's angry.
Orm's tracking the caravan. Have they gotten anywhere where we can feel they're reasonably safe at this point?
They're about 4 minutes of travel.
Captain, you think these chains will hold?
Yeah. That's a good question for the captain.
You know, I have not really, held back a Dusttra, so hopefully? At which point the ship kind of lurches forward once more. I don't know.
Captain, is there a world where maybe we could just lift it and just move and then put it back down very calmly?
We can certainly try.
We can still go on our way and let the caravan do its thing.
Xandis kind of like gets this intense, contemplative look in the middle of their face, and their eyes go wide with a manic grin. Kamille, you want to try and pick up a beast? It's like, aye, Captain.
Oh no.
That felt like a no to me.
Yeah.
That really
All right.
And I don't know.
I still got fly on me. I can bring you over the side lot and then get it down close.
All right. Don't fall hide to a Yoda backpack situation. And I'm going to try to fly down to the creature with Laudna on me.
We have 2 chains attached to it. If we're gonna really try this, we should probably attach all 3 chains, right?
I'm going to wait for their chain.
Okay.
Yeah, just to try and maximize.
Sure, I'll try to command the creature to calm down one more time.
to get gravity.
Just freeze.
I'm just looking over both sides, trying to keep an eyes on the girls.
My
stressed.
face is kind of awkwardly like right next to Imogen's. And as we wait, I'm just like, so.
No.
All right.
And just in case it can understand me, I will use speak with animals, and I'll yell down to it. It's okay. We're not gonna harm you. I hope you can understand me. Can you?
Where are they?
You can talk to it.
Who do you seek?
My spawn. Where are
She or he is looking for their spawn, their kids.
find them? I must.
Permission to fire!
Do it! The stick, the other two kind of like hit it in side elements. This one kind of scores right kind of in the core, almost triangulating its physical body. It's big enough to the point where it's doing damage, but it's not like, none of these are grievous wounds necessarily. The captain goes, we good?
Yeah, we're in!
Bringing it up. They go ahead and disengage that one central part of the stock.
We get our hands
All
on
right.
the pins for the
I'm gonna
release, just in
feather
case.
fall.
And
Pins,
the
hold
captain's
on to
gonna
the
hear in their
pins!
head. Raise it now.
I'm running over and grabbing pins.
They put forward the one ratchet that they had to hold back and put into place. The central gem goes calm for a second, and you watch now the creature's tugging. It gets pulled in. They go ahead and grab another piece and put it down. All three of them strongly begin to radiate energy, and the ship once again begins to vibrate even heavier. It begins to slowly rise, and both of you watch as the feather fall, which makes this even remotely possible. You watch as it begins to be drawn out of the dust. Now, you get the first true view of this massive beast as the dust and sand falls off of its form, scattering to the ground below, burying a large portion of the nearby road. Imagine a length squid, but its central body divides into 24 long tendrils, each that ends in a long-fingered hand that grabs and wraps around.
What?
In the center between them, you can see what looks to be a central. There's an eye on each side of the top of the head, the ones that you were looking at, and then deep underground, as you pull it free, there is a third eye underneath between all the tentacles.
Wow.
As it pulls out, you can see it grabbing onto the chains, and it's starting to pull itself.
Oh, it's climbing up?
It's like climbing.
Oh, God.
But the ship's carrying it. It is like airlifting it now off the sides.
We're gonna drop this thing!
Yeah, we should lower it down so we can drop it.
Lower it.
All right, gonna lower it.
Kill it.
How far?
The ship begins to go, and it begins to dip quickly because now it leans into the weight.
It's definitely gonna kill something else.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All the chains dislodge and are dragged down the ship immediately. The immediate loss of weight and the amount of force behind it, it goes into a serious dive upward. So the ship, it picks up and then eventually evens out. As you're glancing over the side and looking, you watch the chains detach. The creature falls maybe about 40, 50 feet before into the dust. And then it digs itself back into the dirt and broken ground of Hellcatch Valley. And you watch as the pattern of its movement is continuing in a southwestern direction, away from the encounter. The caravan itself is kind of now set up camp and just kind of taking its time there upon the stony top of the hill for its own safety.
Are we buzzing the caravan, or are we just gonna go
We should
about our
buzz the
merry?
caravan, see if they stole the babies.
Yeah, we could let them free.
Okay.
I'm not getting them anything from happening again.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Take a moment to gather yourselves. At this point, the morning has now come into a proper early day. We'll say for the sake of
Brevity.
narrative brevity, in buzzing and possibly going down and visiting leader of the caravan, they're a bit guarded, but thankful for your interaction. They do not have anything that resembles, nor do they have a space to carry anything that resembles the size of these.
Okay, good.
I shoulder up to Chetney as we're talking to them and say, and of course we're just doing this out of the kindness of our hearts in order to help try and protect the valley and just bring a little bit more safety to it for weary travelers such as yourself, and really rely solely on charity and tips.
Oh!
The leader of the caravan nods. Thank you very much for your help. We'll put together a tip gathering service. They go around and do collections, and about 15 minutes of waiting patiently, they come back with a bundle that includes 2 apples, 7 copper, and like some fleece that probably got wet and is a bit mildewed and musty.
That's good fleece.
But that's what you got. That's your tip.
Would you like an apple? I give an apple to Chetney.
How's it smell?
Smells good.
FCG, you want some copper?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you gotta throw it to him.
So weird.
Does FCG have a tongue? It just goes like.
Yeah, do you have like a silver flat for a
Let's
tongue?
just say yeah.
It's now canon.
But it's made of flesh.
Ew.
All of a sudden,
the only-
meat tongue.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's actually alive.
They were a cyborg the whole time.
I know.
Turning back.
Flesh tongue FCG can't hurt me. All right. So, a relatively eventful morning, but thankfully the rest of the day goes by without much of an issue. Eventually, the night comes, as the sun sets, and you see the small little breaks in the cloud cover above to see the familiar stars kind of reminding you of the night. The glow of Katha pushing through the clouds to give kind of a general kind of soft white hue to the ground below. That's where you see now lights in the distance. The lights of the city, Bassuras. The actual central city itself is surrounded, buttressed by this tall red rock wall. Numerous convoluted city neighborhoods and sections that just kind of wind and tear through them like a jumbled trash heap with thousands of bits of candlelight and glowing firelights moving within it. You can see a half dozen or more tall smokestacks that rise far above the city, somewhat crooked in the way they make their way upward, and these small trails of black soot that drift off and gather with the clouds of the night sky. You also notice one central tower itself, the most jagged and improbable of them all. Looks like it's built from some sort of odd metallic scrap, rusted in some places, kind of ruddy and dark, other parts shiny and polished. And at the top of it, at its apex, a dull green light that seems to be almost moving, like the oddest lighthouse you've ever seen. And it's about then that the light shifts in your direction, and your ship is now completely emblazoned in bright green light.
Oh, wow.
Like a spotlight on you.
Oh, fuck, we're back.
Is this normal?
Yeah. This is normal.
The light kind of veers off of it. And you know from experience that you're likely to be intercepted at some point to see what you're about.
Yep.
Okay, so good news is we're here. Bad news is we're seen. And not really much for landing too long, because if what I've heard is correct, sky ships that stick around here end up being kind of pulled apart and taken. So I'm just going to set you down. I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And when you need me, give me about a day or so. Let me know. I'll come pick you up. Let's go. As you get closer to the ground, you can now see emerging from the nearest gates of the large red-walled portion of the city, a handful of dust trails
And
beginning to come in your direction.
welcome party.
All right, everyone, get off now. If you don't mind, looks like we got crawlers incoming. So best to not to give them a reason to keep us here, huh? Go.
So much.
Yep.
Hey, thank you. So I go in for just a simple hug. Thank you so much for getting us here.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna try to take the
Go for it. Roll a sleight of hand.
Ooh, really?
natural 20.
Hey, the least I could do. Quite literally is the least I could do. I don't really want to do this, but I owe your orc master my life and my job. So,
Sure, it's just thank you so much. Okay, bye.
all right. Stay safe. Don't die. Don't get murdered. It's right about then that you hear this sound. It sounds like dozens of grinding metallic devices, like axes on axes. You hear like sparks and metal being pushed and ground against other parts of jagged scrap, as well as an odd, different kind of reverberation in the ground. You all turn back over in the direction of the city, and you now see from the plumes of dust massive machines. The front themselves, these thick, wide wheels covered in like scaled spikes that just grind into the dirt as they cruise over. All same general build, but variations that seem like they've been cobbled by whatever could be found, and on top of that, built to be unique to whatever the personality of its owners was. As they all come to a stop, the first one, the person who was driving it, steps off and lands. You can see a heavy set of goggles on their eyes. You can see a heavy scarf kind of waddled around their neck and thrown off the side. As they approach, they hold a large hand axe to one side, put the other hand out front, and you can see on their elbow there's a black tattoo in the shape of a sun. As the hand's out, the voice goes, "Okay, who the fuck are you? And what are you doing?"
It's okay. They're just like this a lot.
I go invisible.
Ashton, are you good to talk to these people? People don't tend to like you.
We're just travelers coming in, hoping to visit some old friends, maybe do a little business, a little salvage. Name's Greymore.
Oh, you're from the house.
Yep.
Doing pretty well for yourself to come on a fucking skyship, wouldn't you say?
Well, doesn't belong to me.
Why are you here, Greymore?
Looking for somebody who pissed me off.
I can respect that. You all with him?
Sadly.
Yes.
All right. Welcome to Bassuras. You're under the protection of the Gajakantas. By that I mean, just don't get in too much fucking trouble, all right? Don't fuck it up.
Do my best.
Don't fuck it up.
Before you take off, I was just curious. It's been a while.
What? They're listening, but they're walking back and they're like, "What you need?" And they're stepping back up onto the
Death Wish still a thing?
When is it not? Skids past, throwing dust all in your direction. You all get completely surrounded in the cloud of dust before the other ones begin to purr alive. They're just trying to spook you as they're going to ride by, then head back to the city.
Backfire.
What's Death Wish?
It will be the silver lining of this trip.
Yeah, but what is it?
The silver lining of this trip.
Oh, Ashton.
So, and you'll notice this as you get in. And you'll probably inform them as you begin to enter the city. Unlike places like Drusar, which have kind of taverns in the classic sense, they have what are called caravanserai, where like a tavern is one part bar, one part inn. Caravanserai are one part inn, one part shopping mall. It very much has an odd, off-the-grid survivalist sense to it. And as you walk through, you can't help but notice people either not giving a shit that you're walking through or way too interested that you just walked in. It doesn't take too long for you to work through the skids and to get the sense that you're not standing out like sore thumbs necessarily, but you're certainly not blending in seamlessly with the people who live here. You specifically, Orem, being the eagle-eyed member of this team and already kind of feeling a bit defensive, glancing about, you see like somebody jump from a rooftop to another rooftop nearby, just a shadow. Shift past.
Ooh. We have a... Can I yank on Ashton's pant leg?
Penis.
I don't have to reach that. We have a tail.
I don't.
There.
Not a tiefling.
Chetney.
Fuck all.
Chetney.
Yes. Still invisible.
I think we've got a tail up on the rooftops. Be cool about it.
Roofs don't have tails.
We don't want to make any waves yet. Just see what this is about. Maybe.
No problem. I'll bleed them quiet.
No bleeding, please.
You continue through what is considered the western dregs, the west dregs of the city.
Hey, Ashton, how do they know your last name so well?
That's a story for after I've had a nice nap, I think.
Are you royalty of some sort?
No. Quite possibly the opposite.
So,
Wait, is this what I'm supposed to do with this?
Yes.
Oh!
okay, good.
Boom.
Okay. What the? When did you? As you get closer to the center of the city, another sound, similar to what you heard when those massive constructs came through, but deeper and more distant. And you can see over there are multiple tinkerers and engineers currently working on one of those machines, but this one is larger. The others can carry like 2. This may carry 4 or more individuals. It has 2 wheels in the front that have almost like these beast claws that hold onto them. On the back, you can see multiple poles that drift up, and there are banners that tattered and pull behind. One of which looks like an eye with a claw through it, and looks like multiple drops of blood that drift to where it kind of just ends and tatters.
We're stealing one of these at some point, right? I mean,
Feels
like
like
it's
it.
a thing that we're doing.
Feels like it.
And then what catches your eye is the entrance to what is the Salmagunde Strip. Here, you immediately see what is a massive, vibrant marketplace. Large, multi-tiered buildings that themselves are lit even brighter from the inside with arch entryways, and you can see there are hitching posts on the outside, and there's quite a bit of foot traffic going in and out. Eventually coming upon one that you see that is made of stone and glass and silk that rises 3 stories up towards the kind of central portion of this. You know this to be the Rahaten. There is a vast courtyard as you step through, where there are dozens and dozens of carts and small huts and tents. It is, from what your entrance to the city felt like, an unexpectedly familiar and comfortable smorgasbord of probably whatever you could want at this hour after a tiring day of travel.
Rooms and food. Rooms and food.
Food.
Rooms and food.
Jenny, are you here?
Yes.
Keep an eye out for pickpockets too. It's crowded.
Who has the thing that detects if Armand Treshy is around?
Yeah, do we
Oh,
want
yeah,
to wait till
who has
morning?
that?
I think I have that.
Can we use that once a day?
The scry.
Yeah, we should pull it out.
You're pulling out the sphere?
Scry, yeah.
Yeah, and it is like, it's a small kind of, almost looks like a fiberglass sphere. It has that when light hits it, it has this kind of odd striation and expansion of light that it doesn't act like a normal crystal ball. And it's been kind of dull since you've achieved it, and you've looked at it a few times during the journey, and it just kind of looks like what it does. No real change in perspective. As you pull it out this time, you see within it, there is almost like a bright blue firebug glow that sits in it, and it's pushing towards one side of the sphere.
Which side? What
Turn
direction
Turn around.
would it be?
From where you are now, and knowing kind of the iteration of the city, it would be in a southern direction, kind of slightly southwest. And as you turn around, it shifts within to ensure that you can pinpoint the direction. It kind of just continues to focus in the direction.
Okay.
I don't know our orientation. Is that pointing towards the center of the city?
It is. So the Salamander Strip is on. It kind of devours the northern edge of the city. No signs of it kind of drastically going to a different direction in the city or any sort of movement at the moment. It seems pretty stationary.
Probably sleeping.
And
We should do that then.
The farther away he is, the less perceptible any kind of shift in that is going to be.
True.
Do you know of any good inn on the south side if we wanted to relocate tomorrow?
There's one place.
There's
in the
one
South Dregs.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Shit. Yeah. Fucking South Dregs.
Fucking South Dregs.
Thank you.
Does it have a name, Ashton?
Yes.
Is it Death Wish?
South Dregs. It's no. God, are we really doing this?
No, I have to.
It's called A Taste of Teldori. Oh, Jesus.
Is that a theme
It's a
restaurant?
shitty buffet. Please tell me it's a casino buffet.
It's a shitty theme restaurant.
It's a shitty theme restaurant.
Is there a diver that comes out in the middle?
Oh my god.
It's been a while.
I've always wanted to.
But I remember being just embarrassed for even being myself every time I went in there.
Did you work there?
No.
Were you a cliff diver?
You worked there.
Did you juggle?
Don't juggle.
Did you lower the flags after people got
It's
Yeah. Did you joust?
Guys,
I can't wait to see it.
when you
always wanted to
ask
visit Taldor.
Ashton a question,
Oh, boy.
the answer comes in 24 to 48 hours.
Thank you.
Should we sleep tonight?
Let's
That's-
sleep
Let's
in
sleep, but somebody should keep guard.
Yeah.
I will. I'll keep guard.
as we get ready for bed, I'm just gonna pull Imogen aside and say, "Hey, do you? This seems like a weird time and place to do it, but if you're interested in that dream thing, just let me know when a good night is to maybe do that, and I could try it.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Thank you.
And I'll get Laudna
Right,
too.
yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Listening out and keeping watch, there's a couple of moments where you pick up the sounds. At one moment, it sounds almost like somebody is climbing the exterior, and you get nervous and are about to let people know, and then you just hear laughter from it as somebody falls and hits the ground, and you hear somebody like, "I told you couldn't do it! Stupid drunken sot!" Footsteps wander off a bit. Another part of the night, you hear like heavy flapping, like some sort of desert bird has landed atop where you're resting. And then eventually, after about an hour, takes off. But nothing else worries you.
I'm gonna go over to FCG.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm going to take my hand with the claws, and I'm going to just drag it across the blades of grass on the front of his chest. Huh. All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Does that wake you up? Is that why you did?
Yeah, so you go to take your watch, because the first thing you see when you wake up is Fern's claws just scraping across the front of your chest.
Why'd you do that?
I was just tracing the blades of grass
Oh.
on your
Weren't you
chest.
supposed to be like watching?
I absolutely was. I was. Just checking it all, making it all, just checking it. I check on you guys when you're sleeping to make sure everybody is.
Thought you'd come over and just rub me a little.
Good night.
Just sort of stare at her and make sure that she falls asleep.
I feel him staring.
I don't blink.
Pretty uneventful. I'd say about another 2 hours into it, you also hear some sort of large bird landing outside.
Look out and see if I see anything.
You can see the general outline of something kind of rustling its wings, but just resting on the tower.
I'll immediately close the curtain and just sort of back up slowly and soundlessly into the corner and sort of shrink down and go behind a chair or something and just sort of wait and look up at the ceiling, listening for anything.
Okay. It just stays there until the end of your watch comes. It seems to have either roosted or gone to sleep for the rest of the night.
Fuck. All right. Jenny. Can you go out there and just look up and see if you can see like a big fucking bird?
Fucking bird. Use the chisels to part the draperage.
Indeed, you see some sort of like large hawk-like animal that's kind of roosted up against the tower. It's just kind of like nestled in and asleep.
There's a hawk outside.
Is it a beautiful bird or sort of a mangy bird?
I mean, it looked like your standard fair hawk. It looks like there was a nest. Didn't seem to be made of fingers or anything. Just, normal shit.
There's a bird. There's a bird that hates me. It wants me dead. Or worse, humiliated.
Why, FCG? Why?
I don't know. It chases me everywhere I go in the waking hours and the evening hours. It haunts me.
Take my hand. I won't let this hawk take you.
Well, it's not a hawk.
I won't let
That's why,
this
like, I don't think this
son of a bitch.
That's why I don't think this might not be it. So.
My chisel is yours.
All right.
I swear.
Thank you.
Are we bonded now?
Oh, is that what you were trying to do?
Genuine interest in you.
Oh.
Well, if you recall or recollect any more details.
It's got a name.
Oh, you lead.
What is? Well, I named it. It's named Shithead. Because it shits on my head whenever it sees me.
Oh my god.
Shithead?
Shithead, okay. I got your back on this.
I touched the blades of grass.
Smudge it all right.
Oh no.
The rest of the watch is somewhat uneventful. But sure, you're now considered a trusted companion. Through a shared secret and oath of protection, I'll allow it. As you all begin to awaken and find yourself here amongst the city, what would you like to do?
Has the dot moved in the orb?
It looks like it hasn't moved for the night, actually.
All right.
It's pretty stationary.
What do you think? Should we get up and head towards it?
Also, as I wake up, I immediately look at pate and sashimi from where I place them next to me. Do they move? Are they in a, erotic position?
Actually, no. They seem comfortably still basking in the afterglow.
I just kind of look at them and I wink and I'm like, I was tired last night too.
I see Lada doing this, and I say, "Oh, I see you're focused.
Yes.
Seems like it's missing something, doesn't it?"
Oh,
I was working this. I have something for you. So I started on your request for, a girlfriend for Pate, but then you picked up that piece of shit. So I just figured, I don't know how domesticated they want to be, but I figured if they wanted to explore more of like an official thing, this is from that tree in Eaton Square.
It reminds me of the shacks that Pate and I stayed in when we traveled across Taldore, and now they have a shack of their own. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, you're very tall. This is very awkward.
They just kind of go over and shove it in their faces. Look what he made you. Look what you have.
Okay. You exit from the Raha Den and begin to weave through the Salagunda Strip. There isn't so much of a rule of law around here. As much as you were told when you arrived that you were under the protection of the Gajakandas, you're not certain how far-reaching that might be. But what does catch your ear, as you move maybe a block and a half beyond the Raha Den, is a shout to your right. A voice that just goes, "Ha! Can't get away, can you?" You hear another voice go like, "Give us the sword and drop it on you, if you know it's good for you."
That sounds like someone in distress.
You see somebody standing there who's kind of in shadow. You can't really make out their details, and you see other figures just kind of beginning to encircle around them. They have weapons out.
Okay, that's some shitty bullshit.
And so at that point, you hear a voice call for help.
Somebody help me!
What a smoky voice.
Indeed, as the voice shouts, Erica, if you wouldn't mind joining us.
Hello.
Seeing this scuffle happening, the figure that appears to be encircled by this troop of aggressive figures, if you would describe who they see in the middle of them, defending themselves.
You see a very slight, wayfish-looking elf. Clearly, you can tell by the pointy ears. They have close-cropped black hair, tousled a bit, They have armor, the color of the autumn, that's clearly in disarray. And they have a rapier by their side that they're clutching guardedly. She looks very, very afraid. Please, I don't, this is all I have.
Good, and it's all we're gonna have. Chop it, you live. No, we cut you and leave you.
No! And I lunge forward a little bit with the rapier.
I say we're in,
I love
and
it.
I'm running straight into it.
Fucking roll some initiative.
Look at these houses!
The one
Look at those houses!
All right, boys. Looks like we're taking a bunch of things today.
Okay.
And is going to go ahead and turn forward and is going to go after you. They have a hand axe in each hand. And just kind of like, whack, whack, whack. And just all 3 hits, dealing 20 points of slashing damage to you.
Like I said, drop your shit and run. Or stay and die.
That's going to finish.
How about third option?
This individual behind you, Forum,
Please.
is going to go ahead and cast invisibility on themselves.
I'll cast Shield of, well, I call it Shield of Help. And on this elf person, granting a shimmering field. So yeah, you feel a little something and you see a little shimmer around you, and now you have a +2 bonus to your AC.
That's very good.
Whoever you are, we will protect you.
Thank you.
So, FCG,
That's
one of the
yours to keep.
figures runs over, charges towards you, blade out, pulling a hand crossbow to the side. And right before they get to you, they reach forward. And, there's going to be a 13 to hit.
That misses.
So it actually, you pull back and it just deflects off your metallic form.
It did it smudge or scratch my chest?
Well, everybody's been rubbing their little symbol. It's
did.
just for luck.
Ever so faint.
God damn it!
I'm going to run at the person who attacked FCG. Oh, that would be fun. I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna start with a reckless attack.
All right, so wham, wham, 2 heavy hits to this one. It's knocked down to the ground on both their knees for a second. Kind of like steals themselves and kind of shoulder rolls off to the side and
run.
Alrighty, that finishes your go. Fern, you're up with you on deck.
I'm going to cast Entangle.
The 2 of you pull away from it, and that one, this massive knoll you can see with like a bit of scale mail armor and what looks like a giant skull fashioned as one of its shoulder pieces in the side with all these like ink lines kind of dripping down it that have been sealed there, turns and is getting ready to move, and the ground suddenly breaks open and all of these vines begin to wrap around its legs and hold it in place.
Oops. Boom. And I disappear and a thunderclap rolls out. Boom. And you can hear it all over this area. I go, and I appear up above on the top of the roof.
Oh, wow.
You got it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to take out my chisel and I'm going to draw it up my calf.
Oh.
And you see flames engulf the chisel as I use my crimson right to get this shit.
You got it. All right, you take 6 points of damage, but
The
you're
little man just cut himself.
It's great. It's an intimidation tactic. Don't worry, it's going to be great.
all right. And finishing that is now the Knolls go, which cannot move, which is why it's very helpful that something got within range of it.
Oh.
So it's like, come on, little guy.
Oh, shit.
And it's going to go ahead and reach up with a massive glaive that it has in its hand. It's gonna
Cool.
take 2 strikes
Glaive.
against
Two
you.
glaive.
One kind of catches you on the side of the leg. The other one kind of hits you in the stomach, but you roll out of the way, and what would have been like a deep gash instead just becomes kind of a glancing wound. And you watch as the vines are still climbing up and tangling them and getting frustrated in its own right.
I'm gonna twin spell my mind whip, and I'm gonna lash my arm out, and I'm gonna try to hit both the baddie in between Ashley and FCG, and yeah, the knoll. And I haven't been doing this, but I need to roll every time I use my sorceress.
Oh, for
My
like
sorcery
wild
point.
shit?
My wild shit.
Oh yeah, you haven't done that in a
Time
for
long
some
time.
wild
Well, it's up to you if you want to
It
invoke it.
okay, yeah. It's,
Like, it
it's
doesn't happen automatically, but if you want to invoke it, you can.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it. 55.
Oh, that's the worst one.
55, stay alive.
You watch as the sparks leave the hand, and there's a slight blur in the air, almost like an invisible force is careening through both of the figures. One of them kind of grabs their head and tries to pull himself out of the way, taking some of the impact. The other, the knoll, is racked with pain, and you all kind of glance back and smile, and the pink hair just falls out.
It's what's happening?
No, it's not.
Leaving.
It's gone.
It is, you are a cue ball.
Chetty turns and sees this and just takes his hat and throws it to her.
It's kind of a cool look.
I just go, it's all right, it happens to me all the time, see? And yank out a chunk of my hair.
As I pull Chetney's cap down on me.
Okay.
I'm going to squat low and swing at this other person's ankles. Natural 20.
Yo, let's go!
And they're down on the ground. Second attack while they're on the ground. That's less. That is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that does hit.
That does hit. Okay.
Just hits.
And let's make it a goading attack because that's fun. Okay, so they're pissed at me.
Well, they would be pissed if they weren't unconscious and bleeding out.
Oh.
The first hit shoots them on the ground, and the second hit, whacked.
I'll split my arms, and you just see like a deathly gray necrosis start to run down Laudna's both of her arms, and it turns into ice shards. And I'm going to do Ray of Frost at the knoll, and then the guy with the big axe.
The one back there who, the one with the two hand axes who was that kind of the aggressive leader who was yelling at this individual in the alley, kind of like gets the blast of cold energy that leaves these crystals across their armor, takes an axe and kind of shakes them off the front, glances up and sees you up on the rooftop and goes,
grab something and run, gents. Let's not make this worth nothing.
I'm going to use a temporal morass.
So they run towards you, and their body just seems to slow as they reach out and grab the hammer. They still get to it.
Yeah.
But let's make a contested strength check.
Wow, one of them's a 2 and the other one's a natural 20.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
Grabs the hammer, pulls.
Slowly, just blue energy is just getting sucked into me as I slowly start vibrating faster and faster.
Release the hammer.
We gotta go.
And it's like going to turn in super slow motion. Everyone, all the rest of their companions go, what the fuck? And start looking around at the shifting tide here. With that, the illusionist is going to go ahead and drop invisibility after I throw them in the middle of the battlefield in a really intense way. They get back up, and suddenly out of the sky you hear this tearing sound as it opens up. And you watch as dropping out of it is a more broken version of yourself. Dripped in shadow, holding its own hammer. Kind of holds it towards you, and then rushes at you with intense speed, and it fills you with an unexpected sense of fear. So just note, you are currently under
I hate that.
the effect of the spell. All right, the other one, the over here, is going to go ahead and dart forward to the one that is commanding friends and creating shields, and it's going to go ahead and make strikes against you, FCG.
Oh no!
The first strike goes towards you. You like duck out of the way and it slams into the ground. With that, they swing backwards to try and get you with a backhand. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
That hits.
And then it's going to go ahead and rush.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
You do.
17.
That hits. That's exactly its armor class. As it runs back, charging away, it gets hit. It's like, leave him! They're surrounding it! And you just see, like, it's just abandoning the one that's on the ground, bleeding out.
I know that the person next to me can't really do anything about me right now, so I'm going to try and knock them out before I run. I just saw them. The person next to me was the one trying to take my hammer, right?
Correct. You swing a second time, and the time you swing it, they put their arm up and kind of deflect it. Nice try. The third blow, the tooth goes out of their mouth, and they're just like now wide-eyed and desperate, looking to just run. They're a little in over their heads. You suddenly feel this image, this dark image of you that's been walking towards you, dart towards you, and reaches out and grabs your face. And as it does, you feel the searing pain hit your mind. You take 31 points of psychic damage.
Okay, I'm going to breathe in my hands And as I'm walking forward, I'm going to fling out 3 scorching rays.
I'm just gonna
Shooting him
put
out.
my hands out so she doesn't step on my hair.
Not here. Are you gonna pick it up?
Okay.
Of course
Scooping it up.
You just start scooping your hair up.
Okay.
Shit, son.
So happy I put this item in the game.
So after that, now it's Mr's turn. I'm
Oh,
going to
man.
send Mr. within 60 feet, and I'm going to have him shoot a flame seed.
Kind of glides up on top.
Okay. I have just seen a little old man cut himself and then go on fire. I have seen a lovely young woman's hair fall out, and then the other one next to her start pulling her hair out. There's a monkey throwing flaming shit, and I'm holding in like a gaping wound in my side, and I'm like, you guys are the coolest fucking people I have ever seen in my life. I reach out with both hands, and 2 balls of force, crackling force, smash out into each of them. I move him in a straight line.
Away from you?
Yes.
Ooh.
10 feet.
All right, 10 feet, which would impact the other guy who managed to dodge out of the way and like hitting the rock and kind of catching himself on it and looking up over the top of the roof at you, kind of with your arms out in front. And, we gotta go!
I'll transform into a werewolf, please. Thank you very much.
You watch this tiny little gnome, all of a sudden just the flesh tear away to this massive bestial version.
That's still holding a wood chisel.
Yep.
Open up. And I'll take 2 swipes at the inside of his thighs.
32 points of damage and 2 strikes.
Damn.
That's
Just slicing back and forth. The knoll's like trying to pull away, but it can't. The vines are holding it in place, and as you gash, you can see like where you cut. You may not have hit an artery, but you've certainly left its legs quite bloody amongst the fur.
Stay and hit me again.
You see like this massive like growling knoll, this look of fear hit into its eyes as it goes, and it's like about to turn and run.
I'll turn to the regular knoll and I'll cast command.
Okay.
nice.
What do you command it?
I command it to monologue.
It goes to try and run, the legs taut, bleeding and bound by the vines, looks across the field. Slow motion shot as like the sad Enya music plays in its head, seeing his friends falling and fleeing, and just kind of looks out into the horizon and goes,
And it was on this day I truly began to understand that I had much to learn. I had much to lose. And perhaps I needed to seek my fortunes elsewhere. I am getting very dizzy.
What's it from?
You, Simon.
I'm gonna cast
Lightning bolt.
alrighty. Deck saves for guy. No, it's a 2. It's a 3.
Ooh.
And the main guy, that is 12.
They all fail.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, the illusionist does maintain its concentration.
Sorry.
But
trying.
it is burn. You watch as the clothes are like cinders at the edges, and they're like, they cough and just smoke goes out of their mouth. How do you want to do this on the leader of the group and the bugbear?
Oh,
I double do this.
not the one.
Yeah. I want them straight through the center.
No.
It starts to char black, and then they just get engulfed in.
Death becomes.
Yes.
They are.
So I'm like, as it goes through, I want to stare through the holes in their body at the caster. before
Full
they
on
crumble.
tombstone style.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm out! And, like arms up, like fleeing arms up in the air.
That caster is gonna hear in his head, I'm gonna find you.
God. Okay, I can see which way this is going, so I'm actually going to squat down real fast and tear the sleeve away from the person that I just stabbed to the shoulder, and I'm going to, just like I saw Nell and Maeve do so many times, I'm going to cast Druidcraft and grow moss over the wound and try to stabilize them.
They're stabilized.
Okay, action surge. I'm going to spring over them into a roll and then pop up running towards the caster. I'll bash them in the shins and go, and then I'll stand up with the shield and try to hit them in the face.
With that final, you watch as you smack him in the chin. You all hear the heavy metal on bone impact reverberate on the shield as they get shoryukened about 3 feet in the air before onto the ground, unconscious about 10 feet from you.
Who's standing?
Just the knoll, who's wrapped in vines and is finishing its monologue, looking out.
His eyes bleeding.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm just gonna say, like, I'm sorry, it's been a shit day, and shocking grasp him.
How do you want to do this?
Ooh. Poor guy.
Go sleep.
Falls and then collapses onto the ground in the middle of this alleyway. The tension of this troop that had fallen upon this wayward wanderer that you'd come to their aid are now dead or unconscious on the ground, and you take a moment to kind of like catch your breath, look up at you, and look around at the handful of other people in the space that are all kind of looking in, that just kind of like, and go about the rest of their business. Like the 2 charred corpses in the ground still smoking and the bloodlet, and no one just really gives a shit.
I'm taking that a little bit far.
Are you all right, Ashton?
Yeah, how's Ashton doing?
The image that was coming towards you has vanished, and now you have a clarity of mind. You still feel that like deep, searing pain in your brain is starting to fade, but the spell no longer has purchase on your brain.
Do I know what happened?
You get the sense that an illusion was attacking you and made you hurt.
I look up at this stranger on top of the building. Okay, like, you wanna get out of here?
Yeah. I start climbing down. I'm so sorry to have inconvenienced you. I promise that I am normally quite a capable warrior.
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
3rd story roof. Come on, baby.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, yes. It's a 2.
Yeah. Welcome to the table.
Right as you finish the phrase, being quite a capable warrior. You only fall 10 feet for a meager 5 points of bludgeoning damage, but your new friend kind of hits the ground dust.
Oh, are you okay? I am fine. It's just more embarrassing than anything else.
All right, I'm gonna grab Ashton by the hand and start walking towards the group and go, I think this is a walk and talk.
Hello. We're the Bell's Hells.
Bell's Hells. Wow. Hi, I'm Dusk. It's so good to meet you. I'm so sorry. You're all writing a bunch of stuff down. Amazing. Okay, cool.
What were they trying to take from you?
Just my sword, or just like everything, and like the money is
It's a dangerous area. Are you from around here?
No.
Where are you from?
I don't.
You don't remember?
It's not that I
You
don't
can't say.
remember. It's just it's like things are a little bit fuzzy, a little mixed up. Do you ever have a dream so real that sometimes when you wake up you don't know whether or not you're still dreaming?
Yeah.
Literally the opposite.
Oh, God. Well, that's kind of what my life is like. I exist in this sort of twilighty area. I was touched by the Feywild. I was there. It's real. And it was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life. The last thing that I remember was this glen. It's just existing in a perfect, eternal stillness. Just like the moment where the sun is just kissing the edge of the horizon and the golden, this surreal golden light was filtering through the trees, and it was so profound. And so that's kind of where I kind of am.
Where you got your name?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the sword. That thing special?
To me, yeah. It's like the only thing, one of the few sort of things that like I still sort of get.
You're on your own here? You're on your own here? Sorry, I'm really
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
I'm literally sitting on the ground surrounded by hair right now. I'm just trying to gather it.
Could I like prestidigitate it into a wig or something?
This is some like some Target Halloween aisle.
Yeah.
Oh,
wig.
well, that's what a pretty wig you made. Thank you.
Were you going somewhere? Were you trying to get to something?
I mean, yeah, just kind of trying to live my life.
Oh, just
here
walking
and,
around.
like, yeah, just walking
But are
around.
you seeking something specifically, or because you seem very emotionally open and honest and everything?
Well,
Is
yeah.
there something that we can help you with?
Should I not be? Is
well,
that like a
I don't know. You
thing
just
people
met us,
don't
but
do?
it's fun. No, I think it's
Like
very
feelings
healthy.
talks are good.
It's fantastic. It's just most people aren't like that. They're
I don't
very
like where
closed
this
off
is
and
going.
insecure, and you just seem very open about yourself and your past and your.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, maybe if I'm more open about it, then, like, people can help kind of figure things out.
That's true. We could all
That's
be
a
a little
great
bit
way
more
to-
open with ourselves. I'm just looking at all.
This
of us.
is a really bad place to be like that, though, I will admit. That being said, I found you, and you seem like really lovely people.
Yeah, and we saw you. I mean, you jumped to the top of that building. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So maybe we can help, look out for each other. We're new in town.
Oh, man, yeah.
I mean, we have someone that's been here before, but maybe, it's been a minute.
Have you been to Taste of Taldore?
Holy shit.
Not in a long time.
Oh man, they've changed. They changed the menu up like pretty regular.
New managers?
I mean, this keeps coming up. It feels like a sign.
We were actually kind of heading that way.
Oh really?
Yes.
Can I come?
Oh, speaking
In
of
the
yours.
interim.
What is the orc?
In the interim.
We're cutting to Fern.
Okay, you walk into the tent.
It's pretty good.
The first thing that catches you is a very unique smell. It's almost like a burnt rubber tree sap meets an odd medicinal herbal scent. There is a saber of some kind set on a chair, and in the middle of the room there's like a kind of a pillow set up, and there's an old woman who's kind of sitting cross-legged, holding a bowl in her lap, with these kind of like this hot steam kind of rolling off of it. Who's just kind of holding it underneath and looks up at you. You can see her. She has the smile with one singular tooth that pokes beyond these like dark spotted gums.
Excuse me?
Oh, is this where you live?
I'm having lunch.
Oh, what are you eating?
Oh, well, I've already ate it. Now I'm just having my after lunch.
What's your after lunch?
Smell.
The smell catches you and your senses begin to immediately numb for a second. The dark shadows that are coming in from the outside kind of warp slightly, and her kindly old woman face almost seems to de-age within a moment. But you've seen weird stuff from the Fae, and this is just kind of a fun thing, and you shake it off, and while the visuals remain with you, it doesn't seem to radically alter your perception or sense of self in the space. Just a little buzzed.
What do you do here? You doing like a little business?
I just found this tent and ducked away to have my lunch.
Oh, you just came in here to just hang out.
I don't know.
Is this your saber? Because I think I left it in here.
Oh, then you should take it.
Yeah, I will. What else did I leave in here?
You do find an unspoiled bag of rice.
Rice.
You find a nice pair of kind of like a DuPont silk blue pants.
Yes.
And
What size are they?
they're a bit baggy. They're a bit large for you. And looks to be a box of candles.
Okay, I'll take those.
Okay.
As well. I'm gonna leave.
So you close the tent behind.
Fine, we were about to look at the...
Looking at Laudna, her face is kind of like.
Oh, whoa.
And then we were talking about going to a Taste of Taldore with our new friend, Dust.
Hi.
Oh, Dust. Hello, I'm Fern.
It's lovely to meet you, Fern.
A little flinning monkey crawls upon her shoulder, looks at you and goes,
Like your monkey.
Thank you. This is Mr.
Mister.
Yeah.
Well, let me meet you. I'm Dusk.
Oh.
Shake her hand.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. It's all right. It's very okay.
It kind of zinges your hand, just like contact. It's like
Oh, okay. Sorry.
just like pees in the ground and goes back onto her shoulder.
That's okay. Does that mean he's only 7? Yeah, he's just a kid, you know.
That they've been to the Feywild. You guys should totally talk about these things.
It's absolutely real. That's where I'm from.
Sorry to I'm a little bit of a. It's the only place that kind of still feels real to me, and I want to go back so bad.
I do too sometimes. Maybe we'll go back soon. I'm not really like that.
As you exit the alleyway to begin heading your trek, stepping towards the taste of Taldore within the city, you hear the sounds of rustling back from where you were. You glance over and see other figures have darted into the alley and are currently rifling and stealing from whatever remains from those you left behind. But your group, jovial in the aftermath of this quick scuffle, and a much-needed friendly face here, and for what is for many of you a foreign and not terribly welcoming city. We'll see what conversations and mysteries await for us when we come back, as I'm gonna go ahead and close this there.